Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump on here. And so, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you stopping by to see what's going on. Sorry for the kind of the last minute nature of this live stream, but I'd gotten an idea over the weekend and I wanted to kind of get it started for the beginning of September. So, I just sort of threw this together and kind of came up with something, and I wanted to share it with you all, and I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully some of you will be excited about it as well. So, if you have signed up for my newsletter, you probably already kind of know what I'm going to announce because I announced it in the newsletter. But I wanted to kind of do a follow up and maybe go a little bit more in depth with it, and maybe talk about or answer any questions that people might have. So my big announcement is that, well, I'm taking a break. Not a complete break from social media, from making art, but I'm taking a break in September for teaching. For the most part, I am doing one live online workshop at the end of the month, but after all the work that I did over the summer, I was feeling pretty burnt out, and I wanted to kind of get back to some other things. And back when the pandemic hit in March, I started doing some live streaming, and I really wanted to get back to some of that, and I wanted to get back to making my own art. So I thought, well, why don't I combine the two? So my big announcement is that I'm going to do a daily challenge, a 30-day art making challenge for September, and I'm going to live stream it, or at least that's the plan. And so every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm going to get on here, and for about an hour, I'm going to make art. And I invite you to join in and make some art along with me. I'm not putting any kind of parameters on this challenge. This is just for me, and I want to just sort of have it open, so there's no theme, there's no daily things. It's just me sitting down for an hour, making some art, and love for people to tune in. Now, it's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time every weekday. If I can do weekends, I'll do weekends too. I'll definitely make art on the weekends, but I don't know if I'll be able to live stream just because I don't know how consistent I can be over the weekends. However, weekdays I can be consistent with taking a break from teaching. For September, I've kind of opened up a lot of time, and I was throwing around like, well, when would be like the optimum time for me or the best time, and I landed on 4 p.m., which actually is not the optimum time, I think, to do something like this, but I chose it for a couple reasons. First of all, around this time every day between 2 o'clock and 4 or 5 p.m., I get really tired. And I wanted, hey, if I force myself to do this, this is going to give me something to focus on during that time when I just like want to go and take a nap. And so I've got my handy dandy mug of tea, which I'll probably have every day, just to kind of help give me a little bit of a boost. But yeah, this time of day, I really get kind of sluggish, and I just want to kind of take a nap. But I thought, well, let's go ahead and plug it in. And I know it's a weird time, especially some people are at work, some people are teaching, some people, are different time zones. So it might be kind of weird, and you might not be able to tune in live. However, I'm going to record all the live streams so that you can watch them anytime that you want. But the idea is that I'm going to come on and just sit and make and probably talk about what I'm doing, share some ideas as I'm making during that hour. And so that way I can do 30 different pieces of art in the month of September. And so that's kind of my goal and my ambition with this project. So basically I'm making the announcement to invite you all to join in and make some art with me. Like I said, you can maybe do it live, maybe you'll do it by watching the recorded videos. But yeah, I wanted to kind of announce that. So I want to talk a little bit about what I'm going to be using. And like I said, I'm not setting any real parameters for people to participate. This is just basically come and make art. But for myself, I am giving myself a few limitations. And I think as artists, that's something that we have to learn to do, is like, how do we limit ourselves? How do we set parameters so that we can make art? Because sometimes we sit down and we feel like, oh, I don't have any ideas. And the problem is that we just have too many ideas, and we're thinking so much about all of our choices that we get overwhelmed, and we just kind of stall and just, yeah, we end up not making anything because we're just overwhelmed by choices. So I want to share with you some of the things that I'm going to be working with. Feel free to kind of work with whatever you want. But I'm putting these limitations on myself. So I'm going to switch over so that you can actually see my workspace. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going to be working with. First of all is paper. I love this Strathmore mixed media paper. It's their 400 series. It's a good quality paper. And what I've done is, I'm not going to be using the 6x8 sheets that are in this pad. I actually have some bigger sheets that I cut down to 4x4 inch squares. And I have a whole stack of them because I do plan on doing at least 30 of them, one each day. So I've got a whole stack of these that I will be using. I'm going to be doing mixed media, so I've got some watercolor paints. I've got my core travel set here, as well as my Derwent Inktense paint sets. I actually have two of the Derwents. They're two different palettes, so it's 24 different colors. I've got some brushes. I've got my water cup over here, and got scissors because I'll probably be cutting and gluing. So I've got my favorite glue stick, my Uhu glue stick, and I've got my favorite water-soluble pencils, which are the Derwent Inktense pencils, and I'll be using some of those. And then I've got some of my favorite pens over here, the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens in different colors. And so those are kind of the basic tools that I have. But I'll probably include a whole lot more. Oh, I forgot one really important thing, and that is, let me grab it, some collage materials. Oh, I totally forgot about that. If I'm doing mixed media, I'm going to be doing painting and drawing, but then also just a handful of photos and pieces of, odds and ends of paper. I got security envelopes. I love the patterns inside the security envelopes. Many of you already know that. Photos, maps, all kinds of stuff that I can use in my art. So I'm giving myself that restriction of just that 4 inches. And because number one, I think it's small enough where I can work on an hour and get something that's pretty developed. But then also, if I mess up or if I don't like it, then it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to feel like, oh, I totally ruined that piece. I think a lot of times when we're working with bigger papers, or we're working on panels, or we're working on canvases, we have this pressure to like make a masterpiece, and that can really stall and unsettle people. So working small, there's not that pressure, because it's like, hey, if I really mess up, then oh well. And also with it just being an hour, I'm not wasting a whole lot of time. I'm not wasting a whole lot of materials as I'm working with it. So yeah, so I'm going to be working with mixed media, working on that 4x4 inch mixed media paper. And I don't really have any ideas in mind about what I'm going to make. I have no themes, no concepts, no big ideas in mind. I think maybe as I work, some ideas will start to gel, and maybe I'll do some different themes or different concepts or different ideas will pop up as I'm working throughout the month of September. But really the thing is, like, I'm just trying to like get myself back in the making, and then at the same time be able to share with you all and invite you all to come and make some art with me. So anyway, I am really looking forward to it, and I just wanted to kind of make a quick brief announcement about it. And so if anyone has any questions or comments, go ahead and feel free to type them up in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and look over, see what we got here. So several people have made some comments. Somebody asked where I am, And for those of you that don't know, I live in Northern Virginia near Washington, D.C. in the States. So, yeah, so it's a dreary, rainy afternoon here in Northern Virginia. And so it makes for a perfect day to kind of announce that I'm going to be doing this thing in September. So anyway, yeah, so I am going to be, I'm really looking forward to just kind of sitting down for an hour. Again, it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I know, like I said, I know it's a really weird kind of time, but it's what works in my schedule the best. And then, you know, if you can't make the live streams, there's always going to be the recorded videos, and you'll be able to find those right here on my Facebook page, my artist Facebook page. I'll share probably to my personal Facebook page as well, but it's definitely going to be here on my Eric Scott Art Studio Facebook page. So anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my little announcement. It's only, you know, a short little 13-minute intro. But if you have any questions, feel free to direct message me or email me or leave comments here, and I'll try to type up some responses to that. But yeah, so I hope that you can join me for this art challenge of basically making art for 30 days straight. Something small, something pretty quick, something that I'm thinking is going to be more manageable for me. And I got really inspired by many of you who have done similar challenges. Some of you have done 30-day challenges. Some of you do 100-day challenges. And so if this goes well, maybe it turns into a 100-day challenge. But I think for myself, just starting off with 30 days is going to be sort of my goal for now. And then as I work through it, we'll see how it goes. So yeah. So anyway, I hope that you can join me every weekday at 4 p.m. If I can live stream on weekends, I'll post about that, try to let you know. And like I said, if you can't join in live, always catch the recorded video. So yeah, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and make sure that you are telling your friends about it. Spread the word. Really appreciate anyone, you know, share out the video, share out the live streams as they happen, and just really appreciate it. So again, if you got any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments, email, direct message, whatever. And yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in today. So I'm going to start tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to dive into the art making. So gather your supplies, and I will catch you tomorrow.